Hi, this is Barbara Langston, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and it's a beautiful day here in South Texas. And I'm about to do day 13, which is Zentangle's pattern Waybop, and it's a fun one. So let's get started. So Waybop reminds me of kind of a Celtic pattern because it has parts of it that weave in and out of each other. Also kind of reminds me of the Zentangle pattern Ratoon. And I'm going to start this one with some guidelines for me because I'm a perfectionist and I like to get this right. So I'm going to do a diagonal line in both directions, and I'm using some of my paper that I have cut. That's why you see the deckled edge. Okay. This just helps me get the little seeds, as they're called, lined up the way that I want them. So in the middle of each of these sections, I'm going to add the little seed shape. Okay, like that. I can go back later and erase these lines, but I just really like to have this lined up a little better than it looks when I do it freehand. And as I've said before, I'm a recovering perfectionist, and I'm not going to do this perfectly, but this helps me do it better anyway. Okay, so I have added 8 of these little seed shapes, and in the ones that point to the corner these way, I'm going to connect these bottoms, so to where it looks like this might have been one line. Okay, and turn. Do that same thing here. Turn. Always turning my tile. It helps a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing on the side ones. I'm going to connect them. Okay, and let's bring that one down a little bit more because I'm going to put an aura up here. I'm not going to have much room, but that's okay. I'm still showing you how this works. Bring this one around and connect to the top. Okay, so those are our first steps. Now I'm going to go inside and add an aura on the inside of each one of these. And I'm going to try to make each of them about the same width. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing on the outside. That didn't do very well. Okay, so trying to make these about the same width as the other auras that I did. Oh, yeah. I'm just going to show you. I should have had that one come down straight. Okay. And you'll see why in the next step. I need to slow down, take my time, turn my tile if I need to. Try to keep this aura about the same. One of the hashtags I used to put on my work when I would post it on Instagram was perfectly not perfect. And this one was not perfect. And that's okay. I still enjoy it. I drew this pattern probably 4 times between last night and this morning trying to get it right. Okay, now on these outside ones that go to the corner, I'm going to bring it up and come back down so that it looks like it meets this line. Same one here. It's going under, what they call the like hollow ball, going under, bring it around so it looks like it's meeting up with that one. Okay, and do that on each of these corners. So this one is coming up. Bring it up. I like to give it kind of a little leafy type tip. Come up. A little bit of a curve coming around. Okay. So I'm just going to continue doing that. This is a 4-inch square tile. So this is making a pretty good sized pattern. All right, so there are the outside ones. Now I'm going to connect these. Look like these little rings holding these other rings together. And this is where I was saying I should have made that one the same width, and that's okay. All right, so that is basically the Waybop pattern. And if you did nothing else, you've done Waybop. And as we would do with Hollowbaugh, which is just little ribbons going over and under each other, and add a little bit of shading on the sides that are going under. And yeah, I know I should be pointing my pencil better. And this might hide a little bit of this. Oops. And in Zentangle, we call an oops an opportunity, or you put that together and you call it an oopsortunity. I could go back and just add some hatching there if I wanted to, but we're just doing a quick show of how to do this pattern. If I take my time, I do a lot better. Okay, take my tortillon and soften each one of these. Looking in the Mosaic app last night, I saw where Rick had done this, and he made his really fat and very interesting. I really liked it. And then he put, sorry I just dropped something. He put a background behind it of diva dance. The Mosaic app is free. but you can also buy a subscription, which allows you to upload tiles. But if you just want to go in and look what other people have done, I would encourage you to download the app, and then you can go in and do a hashtag search, like for this. Add your hashtag for Waybop and see what others have done. I do this quite often because I'm not hugely creative. I love to draw and I love to get inspiration and love to share what I've learned. So there you go. That is Waybop. I'm going to use my kneaded eraser because I needed it. Sorry, just had to say that. And there you go. And on the back, I'm going to show you how to do it and put hearts in it. So I'm going to start the same way. My little guidelines. I'm going to add my seeds. And while I'm thinking about it, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. I also teach classes. My students only pay $10 per class. And if you're interested, I have a link to my email in the bottom. Okay, so I need to focus on what I'm doing. Okay, so here, this time as I bring these in, I'm going to make the shape to the top of a heart. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do each of these. So it's kind of like a 3. I'm going to do the same thing on the inside. These are a little closer than these, so they're a little bit smaller, but it still works. All right, so beginning on the inside, I'm going to start adding my auras, also in a little heart shape. Okay, now we're going to go and do it on the outside. And this is where those little guidelines help me a lot. Oh, that one wasn't very good. That's okay. Perfectly not perfect. Okay, so now we're going to take these, oops, okay, and just bring it up and back down. Up and back down, and there you have a heart. Now the difference, the reason these are pointing this way is because I started my little inner part, or would you say the top of the heart, here instead of in these corners. So I'm showing you how that would look differently. Okay, down here, this one, come straight up. So come up, and there's the bottom of my heart. Same here. Come up, and back down. Come up, up, and back down. This one, follow that line, bring it straight down, and back up. Again here, straight down, and back up. So we're just going to continue making the bottom part of our little hearts. This one's going to come straight down, kind of like a little V. Same here. I like how the inside of this turns out. Here, back down, here, and back down, and then one more here. Down, up, down, and back up. So there. Isn't that cute? You have little heart rings instead of the leafy circles like we had over here. And one thing I had played with was adding some little orbs on some of these rings. Not all of them. Oop. Yes, I went outside the line. And then just fill these in, these little interstices. Okay, so I think that makes it look really pretty. It's always better if I take my time. Yeah, I was trying not to make these too long in the video, because I have 31 of them to do, but I'm enjoying it. I'm learning a lot because it is making me practice each one of these patterns, and there are many of these that I have never done before. Now, I've done Waybop before, and I enjoyed it. It's a fun pattern. So that's one of the hearts filled in. I'm going to go ahead and erase these lines. And I was happy to see another CZT, Sonia Yenser. I was watching some of her videos. She uses pencils and she erases to help herself set up the patterns the way that she wants to. One of the things that I could do inside of this that I enjoy is Mocha. And this is Kissing Mocha. Since this is a heart, it seemed appropriate. Just bring your line around slowly. Make a circle as if you're going to close it, but don't. And then come back down. And then from that same point, come up. Make another nice circle. Stop before you end it. And come back down. And that's Kissing Mocha. I love Mocha. I struggled with it in the beginning, but practice helps a lot. Now I'm not going to fill all these circles in right now because that would be so boring for you to have to watch me do that. But it is Kissing Mocha in each one of these. And one of the things that I like to do when I've put Mocha in like this, and I think Maria does this too, is that she'll put little inner auras, and I like to put little lines inside of mine. And on your little seeds, you can fill these in. I don't necessarily like how that looks, but I do like a little bit of striping. Looks kind of cool. Okay, let me do a little bit of shading for you. On my Mocha, I just like to put a little smile. We're going to put a little bit of shading between each one of these. Some shading on our Mocha, and I'll go back and fill these in. I apologize for that break. I got a phone call and then my phone didn't block it. I use my iPhone to record what I'm doing, and it let a phone call through. I went ahead and finished, but I forgot to pin this part in Zoom, and so for the last half, all you saw was my face. But all I was doing was showing how I shaded this, okay? And so basically just the shading where it goes under, a little bit of shading for rounding on each one of the Mocha, and then a little bit of shading, trying to keep an open spot right there where I could put the striping on those seeds. And on the bright side, you didn't have to watch me do all that. The other thing that I did that didn't get recorded was on this side, I filled this in with like a little flux flower, or you could just call it little petals. And I went ahead and filled in the seed on this side because I had filled in the rest of it. And then just to go over this a little bit. Okay. You can use this like a string. You can use it like what we often call reticula, where you can fill this with fragments. You can fill this with other patterns. This gives you a nice space where you could put a pattern. Same thing on this side. I really like how this inner part is, but I'll probably go back in and add a nice pattern to it. So there you have it. That is Zentangle's pattern Waybop for day 13 of Inktober Tangles. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoy drawing this pattern. It's a fun one. Again, please subscribe to my channel. You'll get notices when I upload videos. And if you want to contact me, there is a link at the bottom corner of, see how they do it, like right down here in the videos, that is a link to my email address. So I hope to hear from you if you're interested in finding out about other classes that I have. There are some that are recorded on YouTube but not visible because they are for the students who have paid. I only charge $10 a class. So anyway, have a great weekend. Sorry for how the video was interrupted, but you still see what I was doing. Thanks. Have a great weekend. Bye.